What's going on, boys? It's your dog, Big Nuts, back again with another figure review. Now, you may be sitting there at your screen wondering, that ain't a figure. That is the real Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles. False. It's not. That's not true whatsoever. This right here is the Neca TMNT original movie Leonardo. Now, this figure was released, I believe, around 2018, if the copyright on the box serves me well. This is just one of the 4 Ninja Turtles they released for that movie back in the day. They released a normal version and a GameStop exclusive. This is, I believe, the normal version. And they may or may not have released the normal version multiple times. I don't know. I don't know that much information about these figures, besides from what I know. So now, moving on, and we'll show off the box a little bit. Bringing this sucker in here. You can see classic NECA window. Well, actually, this isn't even classic NECA. This is like a old school NECA with the window packaging, single release box, not the usual flat packaging everybody's used to. But you can see, got some iconic imagery on the front of the Ninja Turtles creeping. Donatello got some huge teeth. On the side, got some nice cool art, some product shots. Back, same thing. You can see iconic image recreated in the figure form. I'm a fan of that. And on the side here again, another image, some nice product shots. But nobody really cares about the box, if we're being 100% honest. Well, maybe some people. I'm not one of them. But now moving back to the figure. Bringing this man in to get a look at the paint and sculpt. You could just see the sculpt work on this guy is phenomenal. Every little green creek and crevice has its own work put into it. And then those creeks and crevices have their own little bit of sculpting on top of it. And you can just see the sculpting is immaculate. As a figure fan, I'm drooling right now. But for the paint does go exactly with it. The paint is great. It fits perfectly for their, I guess you could say, not scaly, but slimy, gross skin. It gives off that look. And if you're like me and you get greasy gamer fingers, it will be like that. Now, bringing more looking for some more of the fine details. Like the shell has some great paint work with all the crevices being nice and dark. All the creaks and cracks in the shell. Some great sculpting. Both of the sheaths are sculpted very nice. The one problem I would say, and it's more of a sheath issue with figures in general, I don't know if there is a way they could fix it, but when they produce the figure, they got to try and keep these holes open. Because a lot of the time, you'll go and try and put the sword in. These ones already loosened it up. But the sword won't go in, and you'll force it, and you'll break the sword and push it. So please, figure companies, keep your sheaths hollow, or I don't know the proper terminology. Keep your holsters clean. But now bringing some more detail, all the work on the leather stuff, like the sheath and the elbow pads, wrist wraps, they all have their own finishes, so they look nice and clean. Work is beautiful. There wasn't a single thing left undone on this guy. Even the I don't even know what you call those things. The holes for the string is painted cleanly on this guy. The paintwork and sculpt is just phenomenal. And going for accuracy with the sculpt, it's even better because it looks just like the movie. Hold on one second. If I bring fine imagery over, you can see he looks straight out the movie. This is a DVD. This is not mine. I stole this from a child and a woman in hard need. I just took it. But yeah, look at some more flicks on the back. You can even see where they get the clean imagery from. And I think the accuracy is probably the best part about these figures because they look straight out of the movie. Yeah, I don't like that Donatello face, but straight out the movie. Accuracy is almost perfect. Now, there could be slight little things that I wouldn't notice looking in on it that could be wrong, but from what I know, everything is pretty good. And now, moving over to the figure fan's dream, articulation. Actually, I want to do this a separate way this time. I want to do it different. So, at the head, he looks up. Well, I guess we'll start even further back. At the bandana, there is a swivel here on the base of it where the part goes in at the knot, so you can get some nice movement out of that, make it look very dynamic. At the neck here, he looks up that far and down, not too bad. You're even getting a little bit of a cheap shot of the, I guess you'd call this the diaphragm articulation. But back to the head, It's on a ball joint, of course, so you get all your nice movement needs. Anything you could possibly want, this man's got. So now, moving down, you can see the, I guess you would call it the diaphragm. There's a ball peg in there somewhere, and it's connected to the top and then in the shell. So you actually do get some decent ab movement out of the top for these guys. So they're not just stiff in one position. You can get some differences with them. Now, moving down to the arms here. Don't want to knock over the light. At the shoulders here, the arms go up about that far. Not too crazy on the arms, but it's good enough. You get as much as you would need for them. Now, got a nice rotation with the boys. There is no bicep swivel. And one problem I've had with all the Ninja Turtles, and it might just be more of a personal thing, but their biceps are kind of turned in, like they're angled in. So no matter what, you kind of have them standing like that. And I would have liked a bicep swivel, or at least to have the biceps sculpted on kind of straight. Because in the movie, all the turtles are built differently. Like they have different shoulders, some are broader, some are not. And I feel like that was the one thing they missed with these guys. But not even that big of a deal. More of a personal thing than anything. But moving down to the articulation, we have a double jointed elbow here. Classic Neca style, where you have the swivel at the top. You get your double bend. And with these elbows, that's about as much as I'm going to push it. But you could really crank it way more. You just kind of squeeze the elbow pad. So it's one of those do or don't kind of things, do or die. But then at the bottom here, we have another swivel right at the base of the forearm. So you get all the articulation you need, and it makes up for the bicep swivel not being there, but it doesn't really fix the problem I have with it. Still, articulation-wise, very nice. Now down to the hand here. We'll switch to this side. You can see this man's hand has one hinge. Oof. Another same kind of thing. You could push it more, but it's all about what you want to do. So this is just a rough show of the articulation. Hands go back. They come in very nicely. And of course, just a ball peg, so you get your swivel. Oh no, a straight peg, I believe. Now, moving down to the legs. This is where I've seen the most problems on these figures. People all the time, they'll have it, Leonardo for sale, leg broken off, Leonardo for sale, leg missing, I ate it, and it's all kind of crazy stuff that would just say, if you ever were to consider buying these figures, do not go crazy with the legs. Like I just bought a NECA, the Werewolf in London. Let me grab it quick. And the figure actually came broken. The leg was not connected in the box. You see the sick figure. I was going to review it, but it's sadly broken. And you can see he does, or most NECA figures, the problem area is the legs. A lot of the time, the problem area is the leg. So if you buy these figures, especially the Ninja Turtle ones, be super, super careful because they're very expensive, and breaking them, that's sad. Now, bringing this guy back in here. Looking at the legs go out to the side about that far. Again, you could push it if you want. I will not. They go up with the out pretty decently. You get a nice kick. Just be careful around the shell. You don't want to scrape anything, especially on the leg too, because it will stick out. There is a thigh swivel, very stiff though. Don't push it again. Don't push it. And at the knee here, actually we'll flip it. At the knee, nice double jointed knee. And this knee has the same exact thing as the elbow pad, where you could really crank it way more, but you're going to be squishing and malforming this elbow pad, or the knee pad. So double jointed legs and arms, but they have some stuff in the way to block it, so you don't get the full articulation. And then coming over to his nice turtle toes, we've got the usual NECA build. Hinge, you can go back, you can go forward. And then of course, classic, a little bit stiff, but you got your ankle pivot. Be wary, these ninjas is scary. Now, putting this man back down, standing him up like the fine gentleman he is, and moving on to the accessories. So of course, you're sitting here looking at Leonardo. Something's wrong, right? I even showed him a little bit earlier, but he, of course, has his nice swords. And I think these are some of the nicest swords we've had for NECA. The only one thing is they're a little misproportioned. I feel like the handle is a little bit too long, but that's about it. The paint on it is very, very nice. Nice shiny silver plastic. The sculpting is very good. The paint is a little bit lacking on the handle because it's the same kind of look as the rest of him, but without the shading on it. So it looks a little bit weird, but still not bad at all. Very nice sculpt, and they go into the hands very smooth. You just, there's a ball on the bottom here. You want to just kind of put the ball in this man's hand. Okay, hold on, don't take that out of context. But you want to just put the balls in his hand and slide it right in, and it fits nicely. And kind of just do the same thing but in reverse when taking it out, because these will 100% break right here if you're too rough with them. So make sure you grab them as far down to the base as you possibly can, and then be careful not to break it cranking it out. But moving on to the next accessory. Of course, he does have 2 swords. Every Leonardo needs 2 swords. And now moving on to the next accessory, we'll do the interchangeable hands here. So normally he has his usual gripping hands, and then you can interchange them for these more just generic flat open hands. And again, the sculpting on these is just great. The paint detail is amazing. I like how they got the look. I don't know what kind of matte or clear finish they used, but it worked beautifully for that gross turtle skin look. And of course, like usual, to pop the hands out, let me grab them more by the base. You yank that sucker out. Take this sucker, plug that sucker in, and we good. Looks like he's about to give you a nice firm handshake. Now moving on to the rest of the accessories. He comes with an interchangeable bandana here. You can see the one he's got on more swoops down and back. This one is more of an epic action moment. You could have it blow it in the wind. And I think this is really, really cool that they do this, because I feel like the bandanas and capes and stuff like that, accessories, usually don't get cared about a lot. They'll give you your one and then that's that. They give you a nice little bit of variety, so you can change it up if you really want to. And now, bringing it in for the piece de la resistance. See, I could have done a joke there. The pizza de la resistance. And of course, comes with a nice little bit of pizza. Got some olives on that sucker or something. I do believe this is just a straight reuse, or they're all reused from the 2 packs I think came with them. And then they just put slices with the singles, or maybe I don't even know. I'm not too sure. This may be wrong. Don't quote me. But I think this is a reused slice, or at least it gets reused at some point. So anyway, not about the statistics of the pizza, but it looks pretty good. Nice, decent quality sculpt. And of course, you can't have a pizza without the pepperoni. Okay, I thought that hand was going to hold it. But as you see, he could grip the pizza. He could eat the pizza. He doesn't really have a mouth to eat the pizza, but he can hold the pizza. And it's an iconic Ninja Turtle accessory. You've got to have pizza with the turtles. They're the boys. Pizza time, boys. But now, the accessories aren't too bad. A little bit lackluster compared to usual NECA figures, but for the quality of the figure itself, I don't think it's too bad of a thing. I think it's worth it, because you get pretty much everything you need, besides from maybe another pair of interchangeable hands if you're going crazy, but that's about it. So, accessories, 6 out of 10 about. For comparisons, ooh, excuse me, I don't know what's going on. But we'll bring in his brother, Raphael, over here. And I'm sorry to say it, but that is the only other Ninja Turtle I have for the movie versions. We'll bring in his homie, their homie, Splinter. You can see the scaling is very, very nice. And this is a problem I have to bring up quick. I actually did not know this at the time I did the review for Raphael, but bringing up the facts here. Maybe not. All right, I lied. I thought Raphael had a different shell, and I'm pretty sure he does in the actual movie, but maybe the figure's not based on that. I believe Raphael is supposed to have a different shell. You know what? He's not even part of the review. Never mind. You can see here Leonardo looks very good. The leader in blue standing next to the boys. I think this whole line, it pretty much does scale perfectly. There's not much you'd have to worry about for scale, because they're all made for each other, and they're reused too. So, not bad. Moving these boys out the way. And for the final comparisons, we'll show the villain Shredder and his his game counterpart, the Turtles in Time Leonardo. So, great scaling on this guy. He fits perfectly in Ninja Turtles displays, and he will kind of stick out on just generic displays, because he is a little bit dark, not as bright as, say, the Turtles in Time or even the glittery Shredder, but still, nonetheless, great figure, great, I'd say great Leonardo in general. If you want a Ninja Turtles figure display, this could be the one you'd need. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I've had a decent break here by accident. I didn't even realize it was a whole month since I've uploaded. But I'm going to be getting back on it. You know, the same old junk I spit all the time that usually doesn't come true. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Leonardo. He says Splinter. Have a good one.